Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we are finally doing a 2 looks plus review with the Geologie Cosmetics Wheatbelt Palette. Now if you're not interested in hearing my review of the palette and thoughts, skip to this timestamp right here, it'll take you straight to look 1, but if you'd like to hear my review on this then just keep on watching. Now my love affair with Geologie runs so deep. They're an Australian indie brand based in Perth, my hometown. Now they've only previously had one release, which was their Pilbara palette, and Wheatbelt is the same format as Pilbara except larger. You can see a size comparison there and thickness. Wheatbelt is significantly thicker, and the artist is actually credited on the back. This is Greedy Lions, the artist. I did receive this palette in PR, but they're not paying me to make this video. All of the thoughts are my own. So let's get on into the actual palette. This is what the palette looks like on the inside. There's also a mirror right here, and it is a £10 palette with 8 mattes and 2 shimmers. And this retails for £28. I'll put the price in US dollars, euros, and Australian dollars on the screen right here. And I will say that Pilbara is also £28, which I do like that they kept the prices the same, even though I believe you do get more product in Wheatbelt. Like, the pan sizes are definitely bigger. Now, I love Geologie's matte formula, and the formula has not strayed from Pilbara. They are both the same formula. They're a very buildable formula. Like, they're nicely pigmented, but you can build them up. I do find that there is a little bit of fallout on my cheeks. Not much, but just a little bit, but you can easily whisk it away with your brush. It's not the kind of fallout that will stick to your face. Although I do find that this blue shimmer, if you try and whisk away the fallout, it doesn't. It kind of just sticks. So that's something to keep note of. I love the color selection in here. Honestly, like these greens, I reach into this palette for the greens all the time, and I really like the neutrals in here too. Let's talk about the shimmer formulas. We have this shade Quartz and Jurian Bay. Quartz I really like. I feel like they've definitely improved their shimmer formula from Pilbara, because most of the shimmers in here, except for Starry Sky, were not as shiny as I would like. These ones are a thicker metallic formula, but they still do have a good amount of shine to them. Now, me personally, I prefer like a sparkly metallic formula, like with lots of high shine sparkles, like duochromes, like all of that stuff. But I can appreciate like a thicker metallic from time to time. So that's the 2 shimmers on my hand. As you can see, they are just standard metallics, thicker formula. I do really like Quartz. Like, I have used that shade a bunch. Jurian Bay is a bit more of a satin, in my opinion. It's not as high shine, I mean, you can see on my hand. It's just kind of like, I just feel like the blue is a little bit out of place. Like, you could cover that up and you would still have this beautiful color story. Like, the blue kind of throws it off. Like, I find it hard to incorporate into the looks. I did incorporate it into the neutral section, which looked really nice, but I feel like outside of that, I personally wouldn't use that blue shimmer a lot. Now, personally, do I recommend this palette? Yes, I really love it. I use it all the time for the neutrals and the greens. The only shade, like I said, I don't like is Jurian Bay, and I do find that this is a really good palette as like a companion palette to like single shadows, because there's not many shimmers in here. I just use this for all the mattes, maybe Quartz if I'm doing a neutral look, and then I pull in other shimmers. I feel like the price is really good, but there are a couple of things I would change about it though. Firstly, I wish that Jurian Bay was an iridescent shade. Now, in Pilbara, they had the shade Starry Sky, and my Pilbara palette is really beat up, but it's this shade right here, and it's a sheer sparkly iridescent, and I've hit pan in it. I love this so much. I'm actually using this on my inner corner today, and it is just magnificent. It's one of my favorite iridescents in my collection, and it's just gorgeous. I use this as face highlight all the time, and I feel like if Wheatbelt had a shade like this, if it was like a blue iridescent, I mean, like Starry Sky is more of like a green cyan, but if they had like a strong blue iridescent in Wheatbelt, that would complete the palette for me. But to be fair, with my preferences, I always prefer to have an iridescent in a palette. Another thing that I would change is the packaging. Now, I love the style of the packaging. Like, I love this geometric shape. I think it's different and cool, but the thickness kind of puts me off a little bit. I can't lie. This palette is just really hard to store, and considering I use Pilbara as my travel palette, Like, usually if I'm going anywhere, this bad boy is coming with me because it's sleek, it's thin. This is just a big mama. Like she's big. I don't have any issues with any of the shadows, like wearing patchy or anything. I have oily hooded lids and these don't crease on me, they don't fade. I find that they layer really nicely on top of each other. But overall, what would I give this palette out of 10? So, I love Wheatbelt, I love Geologie. Everything about it is wonderful. It's just those two like flaws that I have with it. I would solidly give this palette, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I'm putting it there. I can't comment on international shipping because I did get this sent in PR, so I'm not the one to ask, but if you do have shipping experiences with Geologie, do leave them down below, and also like what country you're from, just so that can help other people. Let's get on into the 2 looks that I did with this palette. Now, since it's such a small palette, I did manage to use all of the shades in it. And yeah, this look I'm wearing is look number 2, so if you like to see them, then just keep on watching. Today, I want to use this like triangle right here, so the neutrals and this blue. As always, we're starting off with priming my eyes with my Lottie eyeshadow primer and not setting it. Now to start things off, I'm taking the shade Gin Gin Chalk and I'm gonna pack this on the inner portion of my lid with a dense brush. Now this shade is quite similar to my skin tone. I feel like if you have a deeper complexion than I, or even like a lighter complexion, this will show up a lot better. Now I'm going to take the shade Mole Cap, the light caramel brown, and then I'm gonna stamp this on the outer portion of my lid and just kind of leaving a harsh line in between the 2 shades because we will blend that out together later. I just want to get the colour down. And I'm going to be bringing this out in a wing shape and I'm going to be following my waterline. So if you just follow your waterline and then just keep going up like that, you could even put your brush on your eye like this to see. And just to make that shape really precise, I'm going to go in with a liner brush with Mole Cap again. And I'm going to stamp this, just to make sure the shape is nice and sharp. I'm gonna go back in with Gin Gin Chalk a little bit on my brush and with Mole Cap, like I'm mixing the 2 together and I'm just blending this middle section here. Thankfully, because these mattes are so fucking blendable, like I barely touched that and they're blended together already. Now there's a few ways you could use shadows as liner. So the first way that I usually do is use some glitter primer. This is the faerie.skye epoxy. You can also use NYX glitter glue. Or you could use a mixing medium. This is the Swirl solution by Made by Mitchell. Okay, after some experimenting, I think I'm just gonna use my traditional method of using a glitter primer because that's not working. So I'm going to be putting my glitter primer on the back of my hand and I'm going to be sketching out a shape. Now I'm going to be fully honest with you, you're not going to be able to see basically anything that I'm doing. I'm just stamping on the glitter primer and you'll basically see what the shape is afterwards when we actually put the shadow down. Alright, now that I've sketched out that shape, I'm going to be taking Durian Bay and I'm going to be slowly patting and then swiping this on my eye. Right, and we're left with this really fucking cool shape. I am so happy with how this has come out. And now, to slightly finish up the eyes, I'm going to be taking the shade Quartz, this shimmery brown, and I'm gonna be putting this on the inner portion of my lower lash line. Now, to be honest, because this palette doesn't have an inner corner, I am gonna dip into one of my singles to complete the look. Right, so the single I'm gonna be using is this iridescent from the Divina Sugar Drops collection. This is the shade Boom Sour, and I'm just gonna be placing this on my inner corner. Alright, so this is the first look. I'm gonna go off camera, do my other eye, lashes, liner, and lips, and we'll be back to talk about the final look. Okay, so here is the completed first look with the Wheatbelt palette. If you're curious, I didn't use any liner in my waterline because I thought it actually looked kind of nice blank. For mascara, I'm using the NYX Worth the Hype, and for lipstick, well, lip gloss. I'm using the Half Magic Beauty Magic Drip lip gloss in Magic Brownie. Here is the completed look. I am so in love with it. I think it's so cool. I love the asymmetric liner. That kind of, you know, it's a bit different. And we all know that I love my winged out shapes, and this is kind of like a different version of it. Alright, so let's move on to the second look with Wheatbelt. Alright, moving on to the second look with Wheatbelt right here. Now I'm going to use all the shades, let me hold this a bit better, all the shades that I haven't used yet. So basically all of these tones and the greens together. Now I'm going to be recreating a look this time because I saw my friend Lee, Basket Case Beauty, do this look with Wheatbelt and I cannot stop thinking about it. Priming my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer and not setting it. Right, so we're gonna start off with Canola right here and put that all in the crease. This is gonna be our transition shade. I'm gonna try and go for a rounded shape. I don't want to wing it out too much. I'm gonna take the medium tone green Poison Hill and just slightly deepen that up. First gonna apply it with like a sort of brush. I don't know how I would call this shape. First gonna apply it like this and then blend it out with the Canola shade. Okay, I'm taking more of Poison Hill on a more concentrated blending brush and just doing the same thing. Right, now we're taking this shade Glockenite and I'm going to deepen my crease even more, particularly focusing on that outer V. I love this shade. I also love the name. It pleases me. I just think, I know it's named after a mineral, but I just think of a Glock and blending it slowly because I don't want this to like take over the entire crease. I still want to have that depth. I'm going back in with my original brush, just blending that all out. We're doing like an all matte look. I'm just gonna sweep away some of that fallout. Right, now for my lid, I think I'm gonna use the two yellows. So I'm gonna put Harvest on like the outer part and then this shade, the Pinnacles, on the inner part. Yeah, that'll do. This'll do. It's a bit big, but we're gonna make it work. So I'm gonna go in with Harvest. Lovely Kraft mac and cheese colour. Pat that on. I haven't done an all matte look in so long. I will be putting like a shimmer on the inner corner. Right, tapping off that brush and I'm gonna go into the Pinnacles now. I should probably use a smaller brush, but I am lazy. Put that on the inner portion of my lid. Right there. Just kind of go back in with those two shades and blend them together. Make sure that there's like a seamless. Okay, we're moving on to the lower lash, and the lower lash is gonna be covered in this shade Leatherite. I'm just gonna pinch this brush like this to kind of create a thinner shape, and I'm gonna run that on my lower lash. Okay, now to complete this look, I'm gonna go into Pilbara and take Starry Sky, that iridescent shade. I'll talk about this in the, I probably talked about this in the review already, to be fair, but I wish that Wheatbelt had an inner corner shade, because this is just wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna go off camera, finish up the rest of my makeup, and we'll be back to talk about the look. And here is the second completed look using Wheatbelt. I love it. Thank you so much, Lee, for inspiring this look, because it is gorgeous. I feel so pretty. If you're curious about what I used, so for my eyeliner, I used the Udden's Eye eyeliner in 02. I'm so annoyed they don't include the names on these. They just include the numbers, but it's the orange one. The mascara, I used the Lottie London Super Fake, and for my lips, I used a classic, and it's the Udden's Eye lipstick in Light Peach, the Velvet formula. I love this formula. Let's have a little moment for the eye look. It's giving unripe mango vibes. I love it. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know, do you have Wheatbelt in your collection? Is it on your wish list? What are your thoughts on it? I would like to know. Thank you so much to Geologie for sending this palette over. I absolutely love this brand. They're one of my favorites. They're just such a darling to me. Oh shit, I also forgot to mention that they came out with a really cool beanie with the Wheatbelt palette. Mine's in my closet and I'm too lazy to get it, but you can buy it. It's really nice, it's really good quality. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, then you can follow me on my Instagram. It's faerie.skye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. What's this hand motion? I don't know. If you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Rain Cloud Candles Co. We're a small queer-owned business based in the UK and we make handmade candles like this beauty Trans Euphoria. It's our charity candle. I love her very much. She's awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.